Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Daily Recovery TV. My name is Brian, and tonight we have a special guest. We are having recovery conversations with Dave S. Welcome, Dave, to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
It's a pleasure. Tonight we're going to talk about the topic. We're going to get right into it on secrets. In the program, when I first came in, they told me you're as sick as your secrets, and I didn't quite understand what that meant. I didn't have any secrets, but they told me it's those secrets that you don't tell anybody, those deep, dark secrets that live with you before you come into recovery, that cause you to do many self-destructive behaviors until you're able to let them go. So I think it's a great topic, and it's a lot of people have big problem with secrets, and they don't quite understand them. Dave, would love to hear your input on what your thoughts are about secrets.
My input is you kind of teed it up already. Is the big phrase in recovery is we're only as sick as our secrets, and then they tell you that the more secrets you have, the sicker you are. Well, I think that's a little bit of a misnomer. I mean, no one can really gauge one's sickness or one's recovery, but for sure we all have one thing in common. We come into the rooms with a whole lot of baggage, a whole lot of history, and it's tough because we feel a whole lot of guilt and a whole lot of shame, usually tied to a lot of those particular secrets. And then you hear, if you stick around long enough, something, and I'll paraphrase it as not to steal it from anyone's literature, but secrets, when you tell on yourself little bit by little bit, they tend to just wither away. They tend to go away, and they tend to not become something that bothers you so much. And when I first came around, all I saw was a daunting task of something that sounded like I was going to have to bare my soul all at once. And it just scared me. That and developing a relationship with a higher power and other things, they scared me because they were really daunting. And I picked and chose those steps I said I would maybe work and those I wouldn't. And the ones that I wouldn't definitely tied to things I was trying to keep from the general public or my family or even just strangers. So yeah, that topic of secrets is a big one for people, but there's a key to getting around it.
Well, that's some great insight. Another thing that you mentioned to me in the past when we were off camera is the benefits of the fellowship, and how we might lean upon the fellowship as it pertains to our secrets. Could you give us a little bit of background in regards to your thoughts on that?
Yeah, well, it didn't always start with just jumping feet first into having, hundreds of friends. It started off with trusting maybe one person or a couple people, and especially someone I really could trust, which was my sponsor. And I used him as, let's just say, that cornerstone of my fellowship. He was still part of my fellows, and I would talk to him about little things, and he could sense that I was not really getting 100% honest. I was keeping a lot of stuff back. So he would go out on the limb, so to speak, on the branch when it started to bend, kind of showing me, like, I'm going to give you a secret of mine. I'm going to tell you something about me, and we'll see if that could lead you to come out of your shell. And that was like the beginning of me realizing that I wasn't as sick as I thought. I was just like everybody else. I was sick, but I wasn't as sick as I thought. And that there were other people just like me with the same quote unquote secrets, maybe not the same exact particulars or the same time frames, but we all had the same themes. And it started feeling easier to open up over time. And the more people I started to get close to in the fellowship, the easier it was to share things that I thought I would never share with anyone. I would take to the grave. And pretty much everything, I can't think of anything that's not been uncovered through the course of the steps. All the secrets I thought I'd have when I picked and chose those steps, they dissolved. They became easier for me over time and consistency and fellowshipping to gain that trust, to share just a little deeper.
Wow, that's great. When you're new in the program, it's kind of, as I mentioned earlier, the secrets can be a little bit daunting. What do you suggest for someone who's brand new to recovery, who really doesn't understand anything about the fellowship, maybe just started going to meetings? What kind of advice would you give somebody just starting out?
I would say make a lot of meetings, double up on meetings, and get like a whole lot of different perspectives of different people, and you're going to see that as special as you really thought you were. Like, well, I'm not like everybody else. Every snowflake is individual. Every fingerprint is individual. I'm not like you. You start to realize there's some similarities. And as they start to share through the volume of meetings you go to, meeting a day for 90 days, let's just say, if you're going to that many meetings, you're going to hear a lot of people getting raw, getting honest, and it's going to seem less intimidating. It's always going to take that first step for you to do it yourself. And maybe it's just something as simple as, I called in sick work today and I really didn't need to. Something really simple and mundane, which is huge to you, but everyone else is like, oh, welcome to the club. Everyone burns up the mental health day or calls their boss and tells them some kind of white lie. If that's your biggest secret, great. My guess is that there's other things that are, probably what drove you to use and pick up the first time was some of maybe the pain of some of these things that were going on in your past. But for a newcomer, just keep it simple. Make meetings and listen to other people's stories. And you get exposure and you get acclimated to other people digging in deeper than maybe you thought you could. And it's okay. Dig in when you're ready to. If it's something simple up front, even just the admission, hi, my name is Dave. I'm an alcoholic, or I'm an addict, or I'm a sex addict, or I'm a gambler. Whatever that is, that level of honesty isn't so easy before you get to the rooms. But you see other people saying it. And that's probably the first most basic, easy secret to give away is I have a problem.
Well, that's great. That's some great insight. We appreciate you coming on the show, Dave, and we hope that you come visit us sometime again soon. And if anybody out there would like to reach out to us, if you got specific questions, we'll put the information on the screen, and we'll see you next time on Daily Recovery TV. Thanks again, Dave.
Thanks for having me. It's been my pleasure.